Hello, good morning. So I just arrived. It has been like 3 hours. It took me 3 hours to reach my house today. But I, my night is not complete without doing this live. So welcome to the very, very late night market analysis. Hello, Mervin. You're still awake. So we'll include SecB. Okay. And earlier I posted an invite for everyone to write down the stocks you'd like us to review. So I was able to capture Now Web, SCC, VPI, MBT, GSMI, kppi, which is day one of their IPO. Okay. Um, phen, CHP, Eagle, VLL, CLI, rrhi, MPI, SMPH, and SLIDD. Okay, and a lot more. We'll try to cover the ones that you've also added. Okay, good morning, Homer. We'll try to check Wilcon. And before we start, I'd like to make a tiny, tiny request to everyone. I would like to invite you guys to also like our official YouTube page, and I am Miss JD in YouTube. So the goal of that YouTube is for us to also upload our recordings in YouTube so that you will be able to have a lot of options in terms of the portal where you would like to access our um, insights, market insights. And I think one thing good about YouTube is that you will have the ability to play, to choose the speed of the playback. That way, you will be able to hear everything at the pace you would like to have. Because sometimes I speak so slow, but you would opt to have a 1.5 or 1.25 speed. So you can finish everything at a much faster time. Okay, so go ahead, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at the same time. And maybe I'm thinking of putting some travel vlogs here someday or food vlogs. Who knows, right? So eat, travel, and trade. So that's the entire concept of our vlog in the future. In the meantime, please do subscribe. That will be a great help. Let us start with our insights for this stock. So I forgot who asked me about it earlier this afternoon. So I just knew about this kppi. It's the first day, and this is their IPO. Now, what I can say about this is that if you can for now stay away from this, because normally when it's the first day of IPO, the stock really shoots up. It's like massive, massive buying activity on the first day, which is really not a true reflection of the value or of the price of the company. So I am seeing that potentially this stock will go on a decline in the coming days because this is a massive movement in just a day. This is like how much? Hold on. Drawing tools. Let us see. Just 1 second. Let me just draw our price range. There you go. It's 28.18% movement in just a day. And if you are to look at the This one, show bid and ask. Okay. So I'm in this section where you will be able to see the number of bidders against the number of sellers. So I posted this around I don't know, I forgot, this afternoon I posted something about this, and I said that this is a very risky spot right now. 814 or 815 is a very risky price at the moment. Notice it ended the market with 31 traders or 31 uh, sellers who are willing to sell their position at 8.15, but there is only one buyer who is willing to buy 1,900 pesos worth at 810. So no one is already, not a lot of people are already interested in buying this. So who knows, tomorrow it can move a little bit upward, but more sellers will really sell their position. Okay, so very unstable. You have to wait for it to stabilize first before you get in. Okay. So good evening, Jerome and Mervin. Yep, I already have those. I'll try to finish everything, but hard stop is 1 hour. Okay, let's talk about now. For now, I already plotted our potential support, and that will be in this area. I did not use the daily chart here so that I can see the bigger picture. Now I plotted our support using the weekly chart, and was able to see that right over here. Now let's see how RSI looks like at the moment. See that? Oops. So for several times, one, two, three, four, this area got hit. Please disregard the exact price. Make sure that you consider this as an area. It could be a little higher or it could be a little lower than 2 pesos. But one thing you need to take note of, this area, around this area, it was hit multiple times. That's why we have a support in that area. Now, on a weekly chart, we are nearing that support because, or that possible reversal, because notice your RSI, it's now showing an upward direction. Very simple. It's just like this every single day. It's just a matter of practice. What's important is you know where to plot your support and resistance, and you should be able to, you should be good with just identifying support and resistance. Now, where is your next possible resistance? Normally, so this is what we call the Bollinger Band. I'm using Bollinger Band and RSI. Your next possible resistance is right at the MA20 line, and on my chart here, that will be the red line. So your risk to reward ratio is not ideal. It's like for a very small gain. So if, for example, you enter in this area, let's say 2 pesos, but some traders also trade this even if your risk to reward ratio is very slim. So let us say you enter around this area. How much is your potential gain? Oh, it's still 14% in the weekly chart, by the way. So that would mean every candlestick that you see right now is equivalent to 1 week. So we really cannot tell. It could happen this week or in the coming weeks. So just be very vigilant. These are the areas to watch out for. 2 pesos area, and then the 236 area for your resistance. But we're nearing a possible reversal in a weekly chart. Those also the same. Now let's continue with web. For web, I also expanded our chart to the weekly chart, and in previously the 3.18 area was the resistance of web in the weekly chart, and then one day there was a week when that was broken. It started at that area and start moving upward. Now this stock is going to test the support once again at the 3.18 area. Now, if that gets broken, you know what to do. If you are a trader, of course, you have to set your stop loss or your cut loss area and then find a much better trading position. If you are in web as an investor, let's try to see where are you at right now. Well, technically, you are still at a very cheap level for web on a weekly chart. If you're an investor, this is the stage or the phase where you accumulate more volume. Buy some more as much as possible, and then just wait. Wait until you see a confirmed reversal, like big swings. But right now, it's just trying to consolidate within the area. The next one is SEC. Now, so I also plotted your possible support and resistance for SEC, and that would be in this area. It's moving in this range, so let's try to check that in the daily time frame. Okay, so I plotted it in the daily time frame. Used to be the resistance, trying to break that resistance, and one day it got broken, and then there was a false alarm here. I false breakout. It tried to do a breakout, but it went back. It respected the MA20 line, tried to do that again one more time, and then now it's stabilizing. So if you want to get in this stock, do what we call a range trading. Trade within the range, within the Bollinger Band. So if you want to get in near 22.10 and use your MA20 as your resistance. 23.27, around that area. Apart from that, I cannot really see any catalyst that will really drive this massively with big movements on the upside. So just be a little conservative for now. If price starts above 20, like around 23.57, like a gap up, then potentially we'll have more big moves on the upside. Next is BPI. Wow. Thank you for joining me even this late. I bet you guys were also um, late in reaching your own respective homes because it's so traffic if you're based in Manila. Okay, let's talk about BPI. hmm Hold on, just 1 second. Okay, let's talk about BPI. Hold on, just making some adjustments on my screen here really quickly. Okay. For BPI, There. But it's so small. Control. Okay, BPI. BPI. And then Bollinger Band. RSI. For BPI, it is trying to create a support here. So just watch out in this area. So this must hold for us to say that this area of support is really strong. If the price, if that area 88.65 gets broken, then um, this will invalidate my analysis. So what I can see right now, this is the area of support that has to be sustained. If price opens below that, then our analysis would mean potentially we'll see more downward movement there. And let's see how it looks like on the weekly time frame. This could be a potential bounce on a weekly time frame. So let's see. Otherwise, your next area of focus would be 84.88. Next would be MBT. MBT, we're still moving below the MA20 line. So if that's the case, your MA20 line will act as a resistance. And take note, when a stock is moving on a downward trend, your support is also going to move on a downward trend. So these are the areas to watch out for your possible areas of support. Ooh, shh, my mouse is not participating, cooperating. Now, there's a possibility that we are nearing a reversal because of this. 1 and 2 moving up. Price is moving down. RSI is moving up. So we could experience a possible bounce. And by the way, we're still in the weekly chart. You could experience a possible resistance at the MA20 line, but if that line gets broken, then you will have a more bullish move in the coming weeks. So price should not start lower than this area, and then this area will be your resistance. But overall, we're nearing a possible reversal for this stock because of the indicator, or because of the RSI that is moving on an upward direction. Next would be GSMI. GSMI. Possible bounce now. Looks like we are already at the area where this stock has already bounced. Just observe that area. That should not be broken. Okay, but your possible resistance is right at 60.59. That is your possible resistance. So if that line gets broken, then good. More bullish moves for GSMI. But nice bounce over here. So you can try trading within the range if you are a trader. And phen. Let's talk about phen. How's everyone so far? Hi, John. You're also awake. Um, kppi, already talked about it. Let's see if I can add some more. But we're just halfway on our list here. And good evening, Evelyn, Joel. Oh, good morning, you guys. Next would be phen. Phen is wait for a possible bounce in this area. MA20 line. If that line gets broken, then of course that will invalidate our analysis. Because if it um, if price goes lower than that, then that would mean we'll have more. Of course, we have more downward movements here. But hopefully, this is just a bounce because your RSI is still not. We're still at a healthy levels for RSI. See that? Okay, so observe what happens around 2.60 area for phen. CHP. CHP. Let us see. So it has bounced here. It already CHP has already bounced, but let's see if this is just a temporary retracement. Okay. Now it's better if you really look at the weekly chart because here I'm going to draw this. Now, so take note, when a stock is in an upward trend, you are also going to experience your support moving in an upward direction. So it might retrace up to this level and then move up again. One, and then right here before it goes up. One, one, two, three, four, five. That, yep. But we have to observe because sometimes when it I think this is, I don't want to introduce a lot of jargons right now, but something to do with the Elliott wave. And Elliott wave. See this? One, two, three, four, five. And sometimes that's the end of it. So be extra careful. Don't get in this stock yet. I have a feeling this will go further down in this area. But if that line gets broken, then you will now have a possible decline. Because normally in an Elliott wave, it only has up to 5 points. And then you will see a reversal going downwards. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a big user of Elliott wave. You can research that, but that's how you plot it. Point one, zero, start with zero, first point, second point, third, fourth, fifth. Okay. Wow, new terms. Eagle. So who here is a user of Elliott wave? Anyway, next would be Eagle. Eagle, we might experience some more downward movement here. I'm looking at the weekly chart. But try to observe. Maybe this is just going to be, we might experience a bounce on a daily chart. Let's see how it looks like if we plot MA50. Moving average. Okay. So this is MA20, this is MA50. It is not going to be a good sign if MA50, okay, sorry. So this is MA9, so good if it's MA9. MA9 crosses MA20, that's a good sign. Then MA20 must be above MA50, not yet. So just to be conservative, we're not in the what we call the AOTS level or setup yet. So use this as your support and then use this as your possible resistance. Now, if you have the chance to haggle the price at a much lower area, then you try to enter or do a test buy around 14.63. That will be your entry price. Then the objective is for most of the movement to happen above it. If you're already at the, if you're a trader, okay, make sure you practice this. If you are a trader, 3 to 5% would be the most common area where they set their stop loss. See that around this area. See, that's already a reasonable area for your stop loss. That's already a deep uh, movement. But if tomorrow, let's say the stock ends below that area, then I don't even have to wait for 3.43% area for me to cut loss. Just make sure that this is your support, this is your resistance. A resistance is the area where most people take profit. VLL, VLL. So your MA20 line acted as a uh, resistance. Price tried to break the MA20 line, but it failed in today's market. It started slightly lower than that, and most of the action happened on the downside. So I would have to say that in the coming days, potentially you are going to have, most likely around tomorrow, you will experience a red day, and this area could be the next possible area of support. The reason being is you see this blue line here, which is the MA50. Normally, these are the areas of bounce. If that bounces, then good. If not, then just do your stop loss. If you can haggle near the 740 area, if you're interested in this stock, wait around the 740 area. Next, C. For C, so MA50 is higher than MA20, so that is not a good sign. Our downward movement is not over yet. Because the goal here is your MA20 must be above your MA50 for us to say that you are in a bullish movement and an upward trend. But contrary to what you see here, the blue has just crossed the, which is the MA50, now being above MA20. That would signify that we are about to face a downward movement. See the difference? You can adjust the color coding, guys. Next, you have CLI. Oh, CLI. So we have just experienced the bounce. We're also near the MA20 line when the price was in these levels or in this level. Okay, price got hit 1, 2. Let's make it bigger. So this area, so it could be an area, remember? 1, 2, 3, 4. It was hit 4 times and you're already in the oversold area, then good, you have a bounce. But is it going to be really for a long time? No, not yet, because we're seeing um, a possible resistance around this area. Actually, around this area, just put it, you can have it in between the two. But use this as your possible resistance. Let us say tomorrow it gives us a chance to enter near the 4.61 area. How much are you happy to take home with? So let us say you wait for this level, then that will be 6.66%. If you are going to do a range trading, which is my recommendation right now, or some people are fine with 5% gain. Okay, so just observe. If this line gets broken, very good. Next possible area of resistance is this 5.17 area. Let's check out RRHI. By the way, I'm starting to like the weekly chart because it really gives me a much bigger uh, picture, a clearer picture of where the trend is really going. So RRHI, Robinson's Retail Holdings. So we have just experienced a bounce in the MA20 area. Okay, so on my chart here, my settings, on my settings, I placed red for MA20 line, which is the uh, which is part of the Bollinger Band. So it is sitting right on top of the MA20 line. So that's a bounce. And most likely we are going to experience an upward direction on a weekly chart. Let's see how it transpires here. Yep. So use this as your area of support. Take note, area of support. Try to haggle near the yellow line, which is the area. If price goes further downwards, then just exit if you are a trader. RHI, MPI, MPI. Wow, breakout for MPI. Okay, so this is what we call a breakout play. Now, normally when there is a breakout, you must use the resistance, the previous resistance, as your next support. So where would that be? And how much of a movement did we have for today? In one day, this is a 5.80 or 5.80 jump in the performance. So whenever you have something like that, which is not so normal in the Philippine market, the next day people might take profit. So try to, at whatever price you're more comfortable with, try to haggle a little bit. The nearer you are in the MA20 line, the better. I mean, in the support area, the better, if the market permits you. But if it goes further upward, so the higher you get or the farther you are from our MA20 line, then the riskier it becomes. So try to observe first. Now, if your conviction for this company is really high because you believe in the future projects of MPI, then I think you're not going to be very particular with a 10 cents or 15-cent difference in the price because you're in it for long term. And then when the price goes further down, just add some more stocks or shares. SMPH. SMPH is another company that is part of the index. And of course, owned by SM, another company that um, I, I believe in. I'm also in this company. So just use this area as your support. It has given us some good signs of reversal. So let's try to plot this thing. You have an RSI slightly moving in an upward direction, and then this area over here is way up there, and that would mean we are about to face a reversal. Price is going down, but you have some signs that your RSI is now moving upward. So best time to accumulate volume for SMPH. SLI. SLI, we also have a breakout. This is best. This is a setup that our momentum traders, the most momentum traders are playing. But if we are still new in the stock market, I suggest stay away from this type of moves for now, because you'll run the risk of buying it at a high price only to discover that a few minutes after, people will now be selling the position and you'll be stuck there. Okay, try to do the conservative place for now. What is a conservative? If you see consolidation, when you see consolidation, the movement of the stock is just within the range. It might take a little while though, because sometimes it might take weeks. Like this one, for example, it took how many? So that's the downside. It took several weeks before this range is broken. Where are my dates? It took months. Okay, so that's the downside. So you have to use an indicator that will also help you um, analyze or identify if the stock is about to reverse. So just try to be to do a conservative play for now. Next is DD, Double Dragon. For Double Dragon, okay. So we might see some more green candlesticks in the coming days. I mean, on the weekly chart, by the way. So more like we are going to see some more upward movement. But you have a temporary, not temporary, but first area of focus. Then second area of focus will be here, your MA20, your MA50. That will be the possible areas of resistance. Okay, this was a very good entry price. This last Thursday was the best time because price was already oversold. You're at the oversold level. Okay, and very good earnings for Double Dragon. So hopefully we'll have some more bullish movements here. And net foreign buying is also happening. So if you want, you can test it out. Okay. But this is your first resistance, second resistance. AEV. How's everyone so far? Yung ABA po ba, madam, na-mention na kanina, late na naman ako. ABA, not yet. Not yet. Wiki, we're still in AEV. and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 after that. Okay, Marco. Hello. Okay, Marco, I'll try to see if I PIP. Where's PIP? I'll see if I can reach that. Okay, so I'll try to speak faster so I can finish everything. AV, your next resistance is here. Your MA20 line and your MA50 line. This line and this line. So if you're to ask me if it's okay to enter, no, because you're nearing a resistance. Wait for it to rest. If it will retrace, if line gets broken, um, the next possible area of resistance is here. So if you want, you can wait for it to rest around this area if you like. Okay, or possibly this area, because this area was hit several times, and then I will draw a possible support here. All right, next would be tech. For tech, okay, 1, 2, on a daily chart, good story for tech. You're nearing a possible bounce. In fact, 2 straight days you have green candlestick over there. Your RSI is also moving in an upward direction. See that? Moving in an upward direction. So you are nearing a possible reversal. And you're still in the oversold area. So that would mean this stock is still very cheap. See that? See? Cheap levels. But do your assignment. Make sure you read the company, the future plans, future projects of the company. Check out their financials. I think this company is also giving dividends on a regular basis, but the rates are really low. Nevertheless, at least they're giving dividends, right? But just check the performance. Negative. Next would be Maxis. On a weekly chart, I'm not very confident because look at your weekly chart. Your MA20 is pointing downwards. So we might experience, and there's no volume. It moved up a little bit. Okay, it moved up, but look at the volume right here. No volume, even if this price has moved up. So be extra careful. And I'm in the weekly chart, okay? So be extra careful if you want to trade this. Wait near the MA20 line. But not a good sign. See that this blue, which is the MA50, is about to cross over, meaning it crosses above the MA20 line. And when you see that, most likely you will experience some downward direction. Okay, just observe this area around 1390 or 1391 area. Next is SCC. Oh, done. That was the second stock. DMC. DMC, you also have a bounce for DMC, but you also have a resistance near here. So if you can haggle near the support area, which is really good around that area. So these are the two areas of focus. Does not mean that these are the exact price, okay? It's an area. So if you can buy near the oversold area, even better. SEB. For SEB, I think we're at a good level for SEB. it broke the MA20 line. Okay, so if you want to get in near the 93.85 area, 93.85 area. So there, if you buy it higher than that, then you're getting farther and farther to the MA20 line. So wait for your turn. If the market does not give you a chance at the MA20 area, find another stock. You can, add a lot of stocks on your watch list, and then once in a while, watch them, take a look at them, take a look at the position, and when it's ready for you to buy, that's the time you enter. But if it's already high, don't chase it. That's what you call fear of missing out, FOMO. PXP. PXP, you are already at a resistance level. And I mentioned this earlier. Some people know how to trade this. They're very good at trading breakouts or momentum plays, but this is not our game. We are position. My profile in particular, I'm a position trader. Only when the setup tells me that, hey, you enter, because I cannot watch the market in the morning. Um, when I'm at work 101% of, my focus is at 101%. And so I have to make sure that the setup is really, really clear. Makes sense? This is a really nice setup. If you have entered in this stock around this area, notice MA20, which is part of the Bollinger Band. The middle section of Bollinger Band is MA20. And then MA50 is color blue. Look what happens when MA20 crosses over the MA50. Now you have MA20 above the MA50. Then the next move, massive movement on the upside. That alone gives you a good indicator. So you don't really have to use my Bollinger Band. There are so many combinations. Uh, Go ahead and try to search the net. Maybe one of these days I can also talk about those. Okay, but right now, if you are to ask me, this area is already a profit taking area. And notice, while the price is moving up, the volume is moving downwards. Volume down, price is moving up. So, which means we don't really have a lot of buyers at the moment. Now, ISM has again very tiny movements in a day for ISM. So I'm thinking it's either this might still reach this area that I've plotted before, or worse is this area. Okay, hopefully, this bounces around 4.80 area. You're already, just crawling around the oversold area. We're just waiting for a catalyst for ISM. But if you want to accumulate more stocks, wait for it around the 44.80 plus area. Near that, buy some more, because that stock is going to move massively when they start accepting subscribers on their third telco. For ABA, we might have some more downward movement for ABA. This is not this is the part where I'm not very comfortable with. This blue now is about to cross your MA50, is now about to cross your MA20, and then MA20 will now be below MA50, which is not a good sign, right? This is contrary to the previous formation where you have MA20 above your MA50. When that happened, you see massive movement on the upside. Now MA20 is about to cross your MA50 line. So if you're interested in this stock, this is not the right time to buy yet. Wait for it till the next possible area of support. And Could this be one or this one? There are several lines that we have that we can watch out for here. That area and this area. Okay. But let's see how it looks like on a weekly chart. This is right. Around the MA20 and around the MA50 area. Okay. So I'm just a little higher than the actual lines. But it's just the same area. Okay. Those are the areas to watch out for. Because we might still see some more red days from here to here. If that line gets broken, next price to watch out for is here. FLI. FLI, it broke. Okay, we're on a weekly chart and it broke the MA20 line. So not a good sign. We might see some more dips in the coming days. Around this area. Okay, around your MA50 area. So we might see some more red candlesticks. Notice, see that? Your red line is about to cross your MA50. When MA20 is below MA50, you'll see a downward movement. AGI, how's everyone so far? For AGI, AGI is, let's see if this will give us a bounce. You're already in the oversold, okay, and then there's a gap up. Let's see, just observe, and if you can really haggle near this line, if you like, that could be a possible area of support. Let us see on the weekly chart. Okay, actually, yeah, not very confident with the, yep, around that level. It might dip further. Okay, let's just wait and see. Your your RSI is not giving us any hints that it'll recover anytime soon, but it, we'll see some more red candlesticks in the coming days, and we'll get back to this. Not very confident with this yet. But the area to watch out for is around 12.27 area. That's your condition. If you want to enter at that area. If it goes lower than that, 3 to 5% is the best cut stop loss or cut loss area. PHA, same with PHA. You have a temporary like mini resistance here. Let me just draw a Darvas box. See that? Your mini Darvas box. Now, if that price opens above 0.56, your next area to watch out for is your MA20 line around that level. It's not moving. Around that area. Come on, shoot the MA20. There you go. So this is a possible resistance. When the price opens above your mini Darvas box, watch out for this area as your next possible resistance. If not, it might reach this level where you see your MA50. Okay, in this indicator, I specified MA20 as red and MA50 as blue. Now, if you want to enter, and if you're okay with the profit area here around 18%, then good. So try to enter around this area if you like, and if you're conservative, exit around this area. Now, if this area starts above it, then your next possible resistance is this one, PX. PX, we have a potential bounce. You know, it's sitting right there at the MA20 line. So just observe and see. But if you want to test it out, you are already sitting near the possible support area. You can test it out if you like. But it will be best if you have another green, higher and bigger candlestick tomorrow to confirm the support, and make sure that the price touches this area once again so that you have a much stronger support, more steady confirmed support. FPH, this might retrace further downward. This is what I can see, more downward movement. Because I think it tried to, break that, tried to reach even the resistance area, but it failed. Very tiny volume. So you might see some more red days for FPH. IRC. IRC could be a possible bounce now. See this? It ended outside the candlestick. I mean, outside the Bollinger Band, but within 2 days it was able to recover and engulfed this candlestick. So within 2 days it ended much higher than this, and it's also inside the Bollinger Band. So that's a good sign. You might see a possible reversal, but next area to watch out for as your possible resistance would be 1.61 around your MA20 line. MRSGI. MRSGI. So guys, I'm just doing analysis purely based on our charts here. So please do watch the news, and just to limit your exposure to some social media groups, pages that hype, okay, where they hype uh, some stocks, and study the charts, study your indicators and what works for you, so that whenever you get in a stock, it's purely based on your analysis, not because of someone hyped it in a social media platform. Okay, let us see for this stock. I'm not very confident yet. We're still moving below or underneath the MA50 and underneath the MA20 line. We might see some more downward movement here. Not very confident yet. But if we have another green candlestick tomorrow, then this could be a possible area of support. Let's say it starts in the same area and then moves up, upward, then that could be a bounce. Because this price was hit several times. 1, 2, 3. Because this was touched. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 days. Same area. The price landed in the same area or at the same area. So just observe. You can use this as a support. And PIP. By the way, I'm looking at the weekly chart here. Notice. Let me just change that to the daily chart. Okay, just trying to build that support around the same area. Slightly, I plotted it slightly above. Now, your next possible resistance is here. If that gets broken, then boom, you have an upward trend. PIP. PAP could be a possible resistance level. Let's see if tomorrow this breaks out. Not a good sign because you know what? It tried to trigger the Bollinger Band on the upside, but the next day, which is today, it landed inside the Bollinger Band. So I'm thinking it will retrace for a few days and then try to observe what happens around MA20 line. Okay, now if you can wait around the MA20 line and enter in this stock. Do a test buy, make sure you can or have a confirmed bounce first before you enter. Because this is an area of bounce. This is also another area of bounce. Well, we do not know where this could potentially move in the coming days because as the days go by, the movement of MA20 and MA50 also vary. But as what I see right now, so these are the areas of support, possible support. Alrighty. Do you have anything else? AV and DMC, I was able to successfully mention that. How do you read the Bollinger Band? Okay. Uh, Maybe I will try to address that on a separate video because I would like to introduce some trading strategies using the Bollinger Band because there are triggers when it triggers the lower Bollinger Band. That would mean the stock will potentially go down. And when the stock, there are a lot of things, but I want to make sure that I don't confuse you. I want to present it with the right material at the right timing. So just hang in there. My recommendation is, watch our videos every day and you'll see uh, my language each time, and then it'll also allow you to understand it further. Also, there are a lot of good videos in YouTube. They're for free and you can take advantage of those. Okay, but overall, Bollinger Band measures volatility. All right, that's a very good question from Chris. Okay, so time now is 1:05. This is what you call passion. So we are all um, our commitment to becoming better at the stock market is really, really high. So I hope all our efforts pay off really, really soon. Right. And in the meantime, I'd like to remind everyone to please um, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Miss JD in YouTube. Okay, I posted it there. Please do subscribe because if you were not able to listen to some parts, you will be able to listen to it once again in YouTube, and you just adjust the playback uh, speed and you will be able to hear everything. Okay. My recommendation, which I posted yesterday, you watch the video, let's say today, and then take down notes. And when the market closes tomorrow, you compare the analysis. If there are good findings, jot them down and then apply it in your trade. If some analysis, let's say, because we're not 100% perfect, right? Um, if some analysis are incorrect, trash them. Only use the ones that are always right. Okay, so which part of my analysis are always right? Apply them in your trades. Okay, so in the meantime, good morning and you have a good night's sleep, everyone. See you again tomorrow. I'll try my best to be early, and good luck on your trades. Okay, bye bye for now.